I'm excited.
Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly welcome you to Marley State of Mind. You know what the fuck it is. You know what time it is, motherfucker. Let's go. It's a motherfucking podcast. Yeah, it's a motherfucking podcast. Hey, it's a goddamn podcast. Yeah, it's a motherfucking podcast, bitch. Yeah, it's a podcast, bitch. It's a goddamn podcast.
What up? What up? Welcome to the world's dopest podcast, Marley State of Mind. And this week, no different than any other, we're bringing you special guests, the best guests every week, all the time. Today's no different. We got Rell Z the Genius joining us live.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling today, bro?
I'm good, bro. I'm blessed.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
indeed. Happy to have you out. And I like to kick off the podcast talking about how I was introduced to the artist or how I come to find the artist. And for you, I was doing a show, or there was a show being held at Rock Till Morning, and my man Rell, shout out Rell, Rock Till Morning. What's up, y'all?
Yeah, definitely. Shout out Rock to Morning.
He was telling me he kept talking about, yeah, my man Rell. He's like, if I had a label, I would sign Rell Z. He's like, if I had a label, I'll sign Rell Z. I'm like, yeah, bro. He's like, yeah, for real. And it didn't really resonate with me at that time. What I mean, then I seen you perform, and I heard you, and I heard you being the most important thing, and for me, it was the lyrics, bro.
I appreciate that, bro.
It was the lyrics, like you was saying something, what I mean, and to me, what I mean, especially nowadays, where what I mean, a lot of artists are depending on melodies and harmonies to get them by.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of artists they just be out here trying to find what fits.
Yeah,
Um, just trying to ride the wave for real.
following the trends.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
and I don't see that with you. I see you making your own lane, you making your own waves, and what I mean, the root of hip hop, and there's nothing wrong with what I mean,
Yeah,
that stuff, but the roots of hip hop and the longevity is in the lyricism, and you definitely
thanks,
bringing that to
bro.
the forefront, and I love it, bro. And even my people that I had at the show, they was like, bro, got it, like,
I
bro, got it.
appreciate that.
And I couldn't agree more. If I had a label, I'd sign you, bro. But yeah, man, I'm happy to have you here. How you feeling, dog?
Man, I'm good, man. I just been working, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah, about to drop a tape actually at 12.
tonight.
Yep,
Oh hell yeah,
called The
yeah.
Colorblind.
Y'all hear that exclusive
Yep,
tonight? Rell Z the Genius dropping Colorblind.
yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. So on this show, I like to take people on a journey through the artist
Okay,
life. What I mean, I want to for the people that aren't familiar with you, I want them to get familiar with you. For those who are familiar with you, I want them to learn a little bit more about you, hopefully,
okay.
and get in tune with you. So for you with music, let's take it back to the very beginning. Do you remember the first time you heard a song? Not even necessarily hip hop, but the first time you heard music and it touched your soul or resonated with you in a way where you're like, damn, like I love this.
Yeah, it was actually me with my brother. We used to be riding in the car with my mom. She used to be playing Mary J. Blige and
Mhm.
Neo. She used to be, strictly in that lane. But um, I don't know. I was singing back in the day. Like
Yeah,
that
hell
was
yeah.
my, I was practicing dance moves. I always see myself in that type of light when I
Yeah.
was younger. So
Like on some R&B soul type.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
moonwalking, all
Oh
type of
yeah, for
shit.
sure,
Yeah,
for sure. I always make the joke, me and my brother, because he rhymes as well, or used to rhyme. We always say that rappers ain't nothing but singers who can't sing, so we just got to convert it over
yeah.
and get it how we live.
It was once I hit puberty. I'm like, nah, I don't know that high voice. It ain't working no more.
You can't hit those notes you was hitting at one
Exactly. I
point in
was getting
time.
away with it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So it was that R&B wave that really took you, really
Yeah,
captured
for
you.
sure.
Yeah, and that Mary J and all that stuff is real hip hop feels to it too, like the artist your name, and
hmm
they had the real hip hop feel.
With the beats and the flows, it was
Yep.
like they were just rapping with melody for real. That was really like what it used to be.
Right, for sure, for sure. Do you remember the first time you made an original song, or when you started dabbling per se into music?
Um, well, it started out like how everybody is rapping in the whip, um, rapping in the whip with my guys,
Hmm.
and then
Just
yeah,
freestyle stuff. Yeah,
shout out Mr. Marenzel over at Penn Hills. He used to let us like go in his classroom, and he was like a digital arts teacher, so he used to let us go in his classroom, and we would take the mic and play around with GarageBand. We didn't even know what we
oh
was
yeah,
doing. Yeah,
that's fire.
and then he had all these CDs, so we was able to like burn the CD, take it back to the crib. We play it in the car, like,
Oh, that's fire.
hmm
So you was actually able to at school
yeah,
record yourself,
right after school.
make
Yep,
some original music and all that.
yeah,
That's fire. Definitely shout out Mr. Manziel.
Mr.
Definitely
Manziel.
shout
Yep,
out him, man. We need more educators like that that feed, I mean, students.
that's where it started. And what's crazy is that back then we couldn't rap, so we rapping like everybody else. So it's really crazy how he was just letting us in there saying whatever we wanted to say,
Oh
like
yeah, really uncensored too.
yeah, uncensored. Yeah.
That's fire. That's fire. When was it that you made that first original like were you making original songs at that point?
Yeah. I mean, we was taking beats off of YouTube and stuff like that, but yeah. Then my dad, he ended up finding a finding the CD in there, and he looked at me. He's like, "Oh, so now you want to be a rapper? You know, now you want to rap?" He's like,
Yeah,
"You don't read enough to rap,
yeah,
basically." And I'm like, "All right." Like, let me, at first when he first said it, I was looking at it like, "You're gonna be my first hater," But then moving forward, looking back on it, it's like, nah, you were my first teacher for real. Like,
yeah,
cause that made me think, well, I don't gotta be rapping like everybody else. I could really be on some genius type shit. Like, I don't
yeah.
gotta.
Is that where the name derived from?
Yeah. Cause I was trying to do a lot of variations of my name, stuff like that. But then I sat down one day and was like, well, what do I want to be in this game? Like, what do I want to be known as? Like, so the genius came about. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and while we're on it, let the people know how to get a hold of you on the social medias and all that.
Oh yeah.
Plug the music. Where can they stream you and all that stuff like that?
Rell Z the Genius on all platforms. On Instagram, it's Rell underscore Z the Genius. Facebook, Rell Z the Genius. And yeah, I'm everywhere.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. So whenever you're crafting it, you was thinking like, damn, I want to be on some mastermind
Yeah.
type stuff.
Like my goal is always to have people look back on the things that I make and they're like, only a genius could make that. Like only a genius could really sit in the stew because it's always a process.
Right.
But I feel like when I dive deep into my process, I can see myself as a genius
Yeah.
just in it. Yeah.
What does that process look like for you? What does the creative process look like for Rell Z the Genius?
Usually it stems off of how I feel. So like if I'm feeling some type of way, like I know a lot of people go to, the drugs and all of that, which is cool, do what you do. But for me, I sit and I think. And then when that happens, I could just kind of picture a song that would make me feel better in that sense. It's not even
Mhm.
always something to make me, it's not even always like in a positive light, but sometimes it's just, I got to get what's off of I got to get it off my chest. So
Almost therapeutic, like.
yeah, definitely. So
Yeah.
I'll find a beat. I'll either find one or I don't know. Sometimes I don't hear myself on a song. I
Right.
just picture the song, and then it makes it easier to make a song that way because I'm not putting myself in a box.
Right. So do you like to find a production before you start writing, or can you write without the beat? What do you?
Oh yeah, so that's a problem I've been having lately. I'll have a whole bunch of lyrics down. Like sometimes I'm just walking around. I'll be at work and I'll think of some. Oh, that sounds hard. Let me just put that in my notes.
Yeah.
Put that
Yep.
in my notes. Um, there's been times I've made full songs, no beat, and
Yeah.
I'm just searching for a beat to match it.
Word. Word. That's what's up. That's what's up. So pops found a CD. He's like, man, you gotta brush up on your reading before you.
Yeah,
Was he supportive though? Was the fam supportive whenever you started doing the music?
yeah. The thing about my pops is that he's like, I don't know, he supports, but he's also real tough. So it's like he don't want me to do anything that I'm not gonna be good at in a sense, or that I'm not gonna
You're
work
not gonna
towards.
put your all into it.
Yeah, like, and I get it. You pumping the CD, you don't know what it is. You hearing me and my friends rapping about any and anything, like it's like okay, you need to read because he used to say this all the time. Your vernacular is not up there. Like you're not challenging yourself enough. And
Did you use that as motivation?
yeah, and also my friends too. They when we were doing that, there was times where they'd be like, yeah, like I could make a better track than you. So one day
Got competitive.
that's when I really got lyrical. I went back home, I sat down and really wrote it, and I came back and I dusted them.
Yeah, yeah,
If
for
I'm being
sure.
honest, yeah.
No, for sure. Do the homies still rhyme? Do you still get down with any of them?
See, my guys, that's MDS, Modern Day Syndicate. That's something we came up with when we was younger,
Okay.
and it just stuck. Now a lot of people in that group ain't really, but yeah, my boy LR, shout out LR.
Yeah, shout out LR for sure.
Yeah, shout out Pablo. Those is my guys.
Yeah.
they be working, but it's just, you know, different timings. Like
Yeah.
sometimes we,
Life be happening.
yeah, life be happening. So I'm just glad that, they cool. Like I'm glad that we good so that I
And I
can,
see they support. I mean, I see they be supporting you for sure.
yeah, they be coming to the
Yeah,
shows, popping up on video shoots. It just depends.
yeah. All right, so you making the original music. I mean, pops challenges like you got to get it up. You met the challenge,
Yeah.
which is the important thing, and that's big. When was the first time you got that bit of validation? When was the first time somebody was like, "Damn, bro, you got something special there"? Or what was the first time you felt like, "Damn, I got something special here"?
So it took a while, because for the longest I was just I had my mom caught me a actually no, it was I saved up my graduation money, right? I
Yeah,
got a
yep,
laptop and I had GarageBand on there, so I was just thinking like, all right, let me just fiddle around. I guarantee you half them tracks was not it. Like I was just
yeah,
basically trying to find my sound.
hmm,
Um, so for the longest, I felt like I didn't have an identity when it came to music.
yeah.
This is all before I was even calling myself the genius. Like this was just me trying to
Trying
figure
to
it out.
craft
Yeah.
yourself.
Um, but then I really started finding what I was good at, and then my boy Elora, he was at a telly for his birthday, and he looked at me. He was like, I feel like you're gonna be the one that got the torch. Like I feel like if anybody puts us on, if anybody's gonna walk through that door first, it's gonna be you. And hearing that from one of my guys, like
Yeah.
that I used to rap with back in the day, like just having fun in the whip, he looked at me with all seriousness and told me that, and I'm like, all right,
What did that do to you? How did that change things for you when you got that?
it lit a fire. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's I stopped playing. Like I stopped looking at it like it was just a hobby in a
Right.
sense, and it was just it was my art.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So you get that first bit of validation. You said at this time you're still working on your craft. You're still trying to create your sound. Like before you found your sound, what was that like? Were you just trying to mimic like things that you heard or
Yeah, definitely. It was more like I would. I'm trying all the auto tune. I'm trying, just Travis Scott. I'm looking up how to sound like this person, how to
yeah,
sound like this person. Um, but then it was always just it wasn't it. Like it wasn't fitting.
right.
Um, and I didn't feel confident enough after I made a track, and I'd be nervous to show the guys stuff like that. Now I know, like, all right, y'all gonna hear this heat, or I'll just hold it off and y'all can hear it when I drop it. But like back then, yeah, it took a while for me to really like find my craft with it.
Yeah. When did it click? When was that moment where you're like, yeah, this is my sound. Like this is what I'm meant for. Like this is me. When did Rell Z the Genius when was that born?
Um, I would say,
Or how did that come to be, should I say?
I would say, after I got hurt, like, uh, after a lot of my folks was falling out with me, and I was feeling a whole bunch of just yawing around me, like I gotta feel like I'm by myself. And when I was really by myself, not distracted by nothing, I'm gonna say it's probably around COVID, a little after COVID. That's when I was really like, all right, let me hone in on my skills. And I got a little cocky. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't need y'all
Got a
around
chip
me.
on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I love that. So you found your sound, you became Rosie the Genius, you're digging in. Now are you releasing music at this time or what's that look like?
Yeah. So the thing about it was I was dropping singles, stuff like that, but with this new tape, um, it was actually challenging for me because
Colorblind that is.
yeah, the
The
colorblind,
one
yep.
dropping tonight. Make
Tonight
sure
at
y'all
12.
tune in,
Yep,
dropping
yep.
tonight at 12.
Um, it was very challenging because I wanted to push myself like further than I've ever been in a
Hmm.
sense. Like with other tapes, I would just drop stuff that I had, stuff that I knew would go on the tape. But I felt like for this, I wanted to give them me now, for
Yeah.
real. Like I wanted to give them how I'm feeling, my mind state now. So it's like I don't know, I I stretched it. Like I probably just finished it like a couple of days ago.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
just in the sense of like I just wanted it to be authentic.
Yeah. Were you hard on yourself during this process?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
The hardest I've ever been on myself, actually, because it's almost like with the more love I get, the more I feel like I have to give.
The more it drives you.
Yeah, musically, and it's like I don't want to. I always want to evolve.
Yeah.
So with this, I was really trying to push myself past my regular limits.
That's dope. Now, I know when I seen you and when I found you, you were performing. Did you have many performances before that, or how did you find a way? You know, what I mean, and I always like to, you know, hopefully up and coming artists are listening to this and seeing
Mm-hmm.
this, and they can learn something from this. You know,
Yeah.
what I mean, learn something from you. I know I watch artists all the time, and I learn things in that way, or
Mm-hmm.
you know, what I mean, different podcasters even, and I learn things in that way. So hopefully someone can learn from you. But when did you start getting into performances, and how were you able to do that?
So it started off with my boy Rash. Shout out LG's. He hit me up because he knew I was making music. Um, we was in school together, so it was like I would just tell him, I'd show him a few tracks, da 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 da. But then he said he was hosting an event. I'm like, okay, cool. Did a show, and I just fell in love with that feeling.
That
Um,
performance high.
yeah, and sometimes like the thing about artists is that you can be a rapper and dropping music, but that's not an artist. Like there's so much more that goes into it that like
Talk about it.
when
Yeah.
you're on stage, it's almost like you feel the energy from the crowd. You feel your confidence grow. Um, and sometimes that's all it takes to
Yeah.
really take your stuff to the next level. So like if you're nervous about hopping on a stage or performing in front of people, I feel like just take that leap because that's just, that's what it means to be an artist. Like it's not easy,
Right.
but that's just what it takes.
Yeah. Uh, um, there's a Kid Cudi quote from one of his songs where he says, "If I never did shows, I'd probably be a myth."
Mm,
And I always think about that. You know what I mean? You know what I
yeah,
mean? And that is important. I know a lot of great artists that I know personally or that I'm tapped into who, you know what I mean, that don't do a lot of performing,
yeah,
and I think it's such a it does them such an injustice, because people how well, let me ask you this from your experiences, how much is doing those performance benefited you, like networking, leading to other opportunities, things like that? Have you found that to be the case?
yeah. I mean, it's very beneficial because I feel like ever since I started hopping on stages, that's when I started gaining fans. That's when
Hmm.
people started supporting me. I
Right.
mean, when I was just dropping songs, I'm just dropping songs like everybody else.
Right.
But when you really get to connect with a person, when they see your energy and feel your vibe, it's been very fruitful. I've been meeting a lot of people, um, been connecting with a lot of people. Features is on the way, stuff like
Yeah.
that, and you never know who's watching
Right.
in a sense.
Right. And that's important, and that is something, right? Because you never know who's in that crowd,
Hmm.
or who's watching, or what opportunity might come from that. And you know, what I mean, and you performing is the reason that you're here now, because I got a chance to see you live and see what you did, and I was like, damn, I definitely want to, you know, what I mean, support that, of course,
Yeah, definitely.
and get the story out there, you know, so that people can get tapped into
Yeah,
you,
for
because you
sure.
you got a lot of talent with you, and you know, and here, you know, we like to play some music, and I got you queued up right now.
Oh, all right.
um, so I definitely want to get into some of that for the people. The last project, Meet My Mindset, right?
Yeah,
You want to play something off of that?
yeah, we can. Actually,
We can play.
the last track on there, that's like I feel like that's when it's really like,
Yeah, talk about it. Go ahead and intro the track. Intro the
yeah,
track for us.
it's called Frame of Mind. Yeah, that was my exit. I felt like I was thanking people for even tuning into me.
Yeah,
Because my whole thing with that tape was just that you know me, but you don't really know me.
yeah,
Like I want you to meet who I am, not only on the outside but on the inside as well.
right.
So I just feel like keeping it real is just the best way to make music anyway. So
Absolutely. Always the best way to do it is to keep it real, and that's anything in life, really,
yeah.
as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, let's tap into the music and let people get to know, you know, Rell Z, and let them know, you know, why I brought you out here, and why, you know, the things I like about you. And this is from Meet My Mindset, Rell Z the Genius, streaming on all platforms right
Yes,
now.
sir.
And we're going to get into that frame of mind.
Yeah. Yeah, tell them. Discretion. It's been a wild summer. Okay. Moving with no discretion, it's been a wild summer. Country boy stepping, sound like loud thunder. 412 repping for my clown hunters. Been moving in and out of lessons, not a crowd wonder. No applause for all my people who ain't make it far. Good applause for all my people who done reach some stars. Labeled them a thug, but even thugs tend to have a heart. We all playing the same game, you just got different cards. Push that topic to the side like it's another day. That bullet hit my uncle by design, about another straight. I can't even argue this with God, cause humans made the play. I can't even open my garage without a rainy day. Can't even kiss the woman of my dreams, cause she done got away. Maybe it's the money or the fame that would've made the stage. Just know that if I make it by tomorrow, won't forget today. Can't find yourself to love me at the bottom, you can't find a way. Hey, they like to call me Rell, nice to meet you. From the bottom I prevailed and now I finally get to greet you. You think with all this running I'd be running for a keeper. Well, my prize has been unveiled and well, I'm looking at a diva. Delete you. Used to roll with 6 or 7, now it's neither. It's a shame to see who I got stepping left, but they my keepers. Many follow different steps with threats to knock me like I'm Caesar. Guess it's Planet of the Apes, and y'all still following the leader. Guess I'm sold to the old flow, known to the old folks. Rapping over samples, you can call that kid an old soul. Where the hell your man is? Don't you see me talking to them grown folks? Tell them mind the business, stay in convos, only hoes know. Been feeling like I'm hung, cause nowadays I'm rocking so low. Maybe like LeBron, cause when I dip, I take the logo. MDS the gang, if you ain't know, I bet your hoe know. MDS the name for haters talking, it's just promo. Can't you feel it? It's fire deep inside and they can't catch me off my pivot. I tried to speak my mind, they tried to tell me I was tripping. Glad I seen the signs, cause after all I know I'm gifted. My process been defined, there's nothing short of too specific. I draw on dotted lines for niggas swerving in my distance. But this constant state of mind is just addicted to persistence. And now you play my product through the speakers as you listen. I thank you for saving space and saving time to meet my peace of mind. Cause after all they asked what's wrong and I just say I'm fine. And I jump right into these songs and write these rhymes of mine. I heard if you can't process what's inside, then you just fall behind. Constantly racing, too complacent with the other side. And you ain't basic, so I know that you one of a kind. I stand adjacent to my shadow, never in the bind. Cause ain't no way you'll get the aim to kill my frame of mind. I think that's one of the best songs. It's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just speaks to me for real.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about the tape. How did this come about for you? Like what? So because you had a project prior to this that dropped,
Yeah.
right?
And I feel like, yeah, I had Boy Wonder.
Mhm.
And honestly felt like Boy Wonder, I dropped so much songs on that. It was a 21 song tape, or album at that point. But
What do you think? What do you think the reason was for that? That you?
I was sitting on a whole bunch of songs. Like I was sitting on so much, and I was almost ashamed of myself that I wasn't dropping anything. You guys, my brother, my little brother over there, my boy Noah. The thing about them is that no matter how good I do, they'll tell me off for if I'm not doing enough.
Right.
And
And you
it
need that
started,
in your corner
yeah,
though. That's important.
yeah, for sure. It's like it keeps
You
me,
don't want a whole bunch of
yeah,
yes men people telling you like that. That doesn't help. You can't build off of that. You can't get
exactly.
better off of that.
You need that type of support where it's like, yeah, it's not gonna sound good, but that's what needs to happen. And it started back then. I would show them songs, and they're like, "You ain't even dropping yet. Like you just making songs for what?" And yeah, so I just dropped 21. I had turned 21 that year, so it was like a special number. And yeah, I just dropped that. But like, I feel like my projects now have more meaning to it than then. I was just throwing songs out at that point,
You
just
were
to,
just making music. It didn't really have no
yeah,
direction
up in
for it.
my catalog at that point. But
Yeah.
now it's like, I don't know. It's almost like it always has a theme to me.
So meeting my mindset.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Like what inspired all of that? Like
Um, it really came from constant fallouts. And I feel like me and my mindset is really when I honed in on being the genius. Um, like before it was a name, I wanted to be, but I feel like when I did meet my mindset, I had actually became that.
mm, I like that.
Yeah, I was talking, to a lot of my people was just trying to say things that nobody was trying to hear.
Right.
Like I never seem it never seems like we was seeing eye to eye with anything. Um, and I just felt like I was always silenced. Every time I tried to speak my mind,
Right.
it never worked. So
Why do you think that is?
I just feel like people don't like to hear about themselves. Number one,
Yeah.
um, truth hurts, stuff like that. And I
Yeah.
feel like I'm a very vocal person.
Like very blunt.
Yeah,
You ain't
like
holding no punches or sugarcoating nothing.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's rude. It's just the passion I have for the people that are around me. Like if you're not doing something, or if you're not grinding,
You're
stuff
doing
like
it from a
that.
place of love.
Exactly. So I had a follow with somebody. I'm not gonna say his name, but um, that was my dog, like for sure. Uh, and it just seemed like, at the end of the day, it was so much envy behind all of his actions that it almost seemed like we supposed to eat together, and now I've been this now and I've been that, and he dropped the whole tape on me.
Is that right?
Yeah, so it's like,
That's unfortunate.
yeah,
That's unfortunate.
yeah,
And it's someone that was close to you.
yeah, it's my dog. Like,
Yeah.
we did things we can't tell nobody about, like stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like, that was my guy. Um, Dropped the whole tape about me, and I just felt like I needed to, you know, have more confidence in myself, because I feel like I could have seen it coming. I could have seen the envy. I could have seen it all, but I wasn't allowing myself to see that. Like, I was blinded in a way.
From the friendship, your feelings that you felt about this particular individual wouldn't allow you to see those things.
Yeah, it was like, you ain't a good friend, but you still my brother. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I dig that.
Yeah.
I dig that 100%. Do you think the envy, and of course you can't speak for on that this person's behalf, but would you say the envy came from seeing the things that you were doing and wanting to be in the place that you were in?
Yeah, I feel like, we grew up together. So it was like, in high school, we all on the same page. You ain't really doing much more than the next person if we all going to the same classroom.
Right.
Um, but the older we got,
The separation started to take place.
yeah, it was like, you doing this and I'm doing this,
Yeah.
and it was like, now it's visible. Now we're competing in a sense. Like, when I dropped Boy Wonder, and to me, Boy Wonder was just a whole bunch of jams. Like, I was just trying to get it out. He looked at me and said, your tape gonna be better than mine. And I'm like, bro,
I ain't even thinking like that.
I ain't thinking like that. I'm
Yeah.
glad you dropping too. Like, we
Yeah.
supposed to both be eating. So it was like, the older I got, the more I kept seeing it.
You start seeing the signs.
Yeah, it was reoccurring. And it
Yeah.
was like, okay, maybe it been there. But now, since it's visible to the public, now since it's almost night and day, you just gonna hate, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It's all love on my end.
I
Like,
mean, that's unfortunate for sure. Where are things at now with that friend or
it's a lot of
individual?
internet talking on his behalf. A lot of, I see him,
Yeah.
but to me, it's gonna always
You
be
ain't feeding
love.
into it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna always be love, because I feel like once I have that first, like, for a person, it ain't going away.
Nah,
We might not
that's real.
be on the same page, but
It's unconditional.
yeah,
Yeah, that's real. No, I mean, I would say to you, I mean, as far as that goes, it sounds like you're taking the right approach. I mean, take it for what it's worth. I'm really nobody to be, I mean, offering advice or whatever the case may be. But, I mean, from where I'm standing at, it sounds like you're taking the right approach to it. And,
trying
I
to,
mean,
yeah,
just pray for them. I
yeah,
mean, love them from afar if that's what needs to take place. And just keep it moving, bro.
yeah. Honestly, I
You know
mean,
what I
it's
mean?
it's better now that he ain't around.
Yeah.
Honestly, we grinding now.
It's better that he showed his colors too.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and I'm
Because you would hate to have that in your camp as you're trying to make progress.
exactly. I was just about to say that. Like, I'm glad it was before the rise, because if it was
Yeah,
after, then it's like, now there's money involved. Now there's,
exactly.
partnerships and contracts and all of that. But you know, you cut it off at the perfect moment. Like,
Right.
yeah. So it's like, hey,
For sure. For sure. So we dropped Boy Wonder, which that was just you getting your toes wet.
yeah, I was nervous.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You had some jams you were sitting on. You wanted the people to hear them.
yeah, for sure.
So you dropped that. Then Meet My Mindset. This is you finding yourself,
Yeah.
finding your voice.
Hmm.
And I mean, really getting into the swing of it. And before we move beyond that, let's play another jam off of there.
All right.
I mean, because it's the Rell Z. We on Rell Z time. So
Yeah.
what would you want the people to hear next?
Mm. Uh, Actually, let's go with what we thinking, B? Wish I could fly. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
For sure. And for y'all just tuning in, we with Rell Z the Genius
Yes,
here at a
sir.
Bunch of Bull Studios, Molly State of Mind podcast. Right now, we're playing some jams off of Meet My Mindset. Rell Z the Genius. Make sure you stream that. RELLZ the Genius.
Yep.
And this joint right here is called Wish I Could Fly.
Listen, man. You know what? I ain't out here just rapping just to rap. I'm saying, stay what's on my mind. And I'm gonna continue to do that. You don't like it, don't recite it. Listen. Yeah. The realest nigga walking with a target on my back like a Jansport. I try to tell her holla back like I need fab chords. I'ma pop my collar back like playing dashboard. Wanna bring my dollar back, copy that. Put this in a holler raps, I body that like how me that. Tell the stop sleeping on me, insomniac. Interrupted my pattern, I follow, they follow back. I'm leading a bunch of followers, tell me who follow that. I stop and I fall flat, they concentrated on that. No matter how much I struggled and hustled, they look at that. That's why I'm never looking back. I snap, they mad I crack, I stack. That's why my paper relax. My goal is shack, she act like I been something she needed, but ain't called back. She black, but Lord, she beautiful. Loving her was a trap. That's why she only ran it back when she heard that her brother rap. Should be happy, matter of fact, since I done put her on this track. What's up? Live my life like this, alright like this, you know why? Cause if I didn't write like this about my life, then I'd be living a lie. Pray for all my brothers and my sisters in the sky when I close my eyes. This would be the time that I wish I could fly. Man, I wish I could fly to the heavens for a second. Look my grandma's in the eyes and tell her I've been out here stepping. Grandma Sally used to tell me that my voice was strongest weapon. Now I've been out here speaking with my soul, using my blessing. Probably asking a couple questions, but my father he been stressing. How to heal from the hurt that's been bestowed since adolescence. In the hood I know they reckless. He switched over and invested. Now my brother and my sister and my mama need protected. Hard to speak on the real next to all this fake. Hard to settle down and build next to all this hate. Couldn't catch me in the field, I got open gates. But my scars went over here with all these snakes. And that's why I maneuver like I have to. Cut it when I had to. Knew that I'd be rapping, system taps up in the classroom. Some say I'm a bad dude, some don't even have to. I've been living life, if you don't know, I know my raps do. Live my life like this, alright like this, you know why? Cause if I didn't write like this about my life, then I'd be living a lie. Pray for all my brothers and my sisters in the sky when I close my eyes. This would be the time that I wish I could fly. Man, I wish I could fly. Yeah, bro.
Hey. Yeah, I'm rocking with you, bro. So what? Grandma told you your voice is your strongest weapon.
Yeah.
I heard that correctly.
Yes, sir. She used to want, she used to come over, rest in peace, but she used to want me to be a preacher.
Yeah.
Me and my little brother, she just heard it, you know, and I ain't about to be no preacher, but
You don't know that it ain't
yeah,
over.
yeah,
You
it
still
ain't
got some.
over
You still
yet.
got some chapters to write. But
But
no, I feel you.
yeah, but it was like I could look at it in a different way. Like if my voice really has power to it, I could just put it somewhere else, you know.
Yeah, and that's what you're doing. And tell me a little bit more about that song. What inspired that song? What brought it about? Because I noticed a lot of family references
Yeah.
in that joint.
You know, I just feel like a lot of people are gone in my family. Like I lose a lot of people almost every year, and sometimes I do wish that I could just fly. You know, I wish that I could just be up there with them, so I can tell them about what's going on right now.
Yeah,
Um, now I know that they're listening, but I want to see them listen. You know,
right.
visually.
You want to have that interaction.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
sometimes I wish I could do that. But also, you know, at the end of that verse, I was putting it down where it's like, I also have to take care of the people that's here now. So
right.
it's like, you know, make sure my brother, sister, mom, even my pops, who be getting on my nerves all the time, but I gotta make sure they straight because they here.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah. It seems like your family plays an integral role in your whole career,
yeah,
your whole shape of what you do with this music.
yeah, for sure. They're my consultants for real, for real. Like
Yeah,
if you know, if my brother wasn't at school, if he's when he's not at school, he's hearing every jam I'm making. He's critiquing. My little sister, she's hearing every jam. She about to go into high school. Like my peoples, they listen to. Um, I just try to get different outlooks on, you know, because they know me more than anybody else.
how important is their input to you to your records and what you're doing? How important is their feedback?
Sometimes it's the order of my tape, like
Yeah,
just how it makes them feel. So yeah, like sometimes you know if they tell me that they ain't rocking with it or whatever, I'll think about it. I'll go back, listen to it. I'll take their words into consideration all the time.
yeah, and that's important. The thing that I learned about you so far during this interview, and I always tell my guests all the same thing. Like, if you come here and I learn about you and you have fun, and I feel like we had a successful
Yeah,
podcast.
for sure.
And the one thing that I'm learning about you is you're not afraid to take criticism and build off of it.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel like growth is always needed. Because once you stop doing that, you're stagnant. Once you stop doing that, you ain't going nowhere.
Was it hard to take criticism at first, or have you always been so open to it?
Oh, not always.
Yeah,
When I was younger, you couldn't tell me I was wrong about anything.
yeah.
Uh, Even if I was dead wrong and I knew I was wrong, I just didn't want to hear it.
You're just stubborn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but the older I got, it was like I seen the mistakes that I made, and it's like, what could I do to prevent those? Like listening to the people around me. I try to surround myself with people that are, more knowledgeable than me, so
right.
that I could just learn from them at all times.
People you consider wise.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. That's what's up, man. And the thing is, especially for artists, I think it's when you have art, it's difficult to take criticism on it because you put a lot into it.
Hmm.
It's a lot of love that goes into it, and if you made it and you're sharing it, especially like you thought it was something special about it.
Yeah.
And then when you hear someone pick at your baby,
Yeah, exactly.
it could be difficult to accept it, or it could be difficult to understand it, or sometimes you might just all out reject it.
Hmm.
And the fact that you can overcome that and get outside yourself and get outside your body, that's a gift. That's something special that not everyone has, and it's going to take you a lot further than it won't. Because sometimes you have to listen to that criticism. You got
Yeah.
to take that in, and
Hmm.
you know what I mean. And sometimes it's not always valid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean. Sometimes people just be hating just for the sake of hating. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean.
get that too.
So you got to understand the difference, and the fact that you have your family as like your number one consultant, like it's always coming from a
Yeah,
place of
it's
love with
always
them.
love. Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no ill intent or bad intentions behind it.
Hmm.
So that's what I mean, that's already steps into the right direction, and I can see why your career is headed in the direction it is from, what I mean, taking this step with you and walking, what I mean, walking this journey with you, which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Here at Marley State of Mind Podcast, Bunch of Bull Studios right now. So we do meeting my mindset. That drops. How's the reception for you? How you feel when you drop the project?
I felt the love, honestly. I started performing it places, just different tracks. A lot of people were telling me they don't even know what their favorite track is off of that because I just gave different sides of me.
Yeah.
But
Was it more organized when you put this together? Like you said, Boy Wonder, you were just dropping for the sake of
yeah,
dropping. Did you have a vision in mind whenever you dropped this one?
yeah. So this was more calculated. Like I knew I was making songs from months ago, knowing that I was gonna wait to put it on this.
Right.
I just needed enough, honestly. So it was like me and my mindset was real easy to put together.
Yeah.
Not like this new one, but yeah,
The new one's a little bit easier,
new one was harder.
harder.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, all right. So we definitely gonna get into the new. We definitely gonna talk about that. So, meeting my mindset, the feedback's good.
yeah,
The performing tracks, the audience is responding the way
yeah,
you
for
want to.
sure. Going to different cities too, that'd be the best because it's like I could hear. Because Pittsburgh is like I don't know. Sometimes it's a little iffy. Like they don't want to see you doing better than them, or they don't want to see you shining. So, but
I'm gonna
going
be
into
honest with you, bro. Um, I've been to many different cities, uh, performing
mm,
and being in crowds and stuff like that at many different cities. And you're 100% right about the Pittsburgh thing. I'll never forget. I was in Portland, Oregon. Shout out Portland, Oregon PDX. I was in Portland, Oregon at a local hip hop show, and it's packed, packed, bro. You hear me? Packed. And I go to a couple different people. I'm like, who you here to see?
mm,
They're like, I don't know any of these guys. I just heard there was performances tonight, so I came out to check it out.
that's crazy.
I go to a different person, like, who you here to see? Nobody. I just know there was something going on tonight. Bro, I've been to a trillion Pittsburgh shows. And no disrespect to the city
Yeah.
and I mean loving and we need to change this. I've been to a whole bunch of shows in the city of Pittsburgh, and usually if they're in a crowd it's because they're there for someone.
Mm,
There's very seldom people who are just there as casual
yeah.
ongoers, and that could be a couple of different factors. Maybe because the promoters aren't promoting it correctly. That could be a factor. It might not just be the city itself. But with that being said, I know the city of Pittsburgh has a lot of shows canceled due to lack of ticket sales, and I'm talking
Yeah.
about for big artists who sell out and many of other places. It's a very hard city, especially for hip hop, to get traction in,
Mm,
or to get people to come and see for whatever reason. Um, but it is very difficult.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but
There'll be people. that leave as soon as they people's is
Gone.
done. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And shout out to you, because you definitely don't do that.
Oh no,
You
because
definitely don't do that.
I always feel like I want to see. I always want to find a new artist just to kind of connect with, just to what are you about? Like that's how I be feeling. So when I see people do it to me, I'll be like, oh, all right. Well, I ain't gonna do that to the
Do you
next
take a
person.
do you take a mental note of it though? Remember
Yeah,
next
I
time you
remember.
see
I
him.
remember. Yeah, for sure.
No, that's a good point that you bring up though, because that is important. Now that you bring that up, let's definitely touch on that a little bit
Mhm.
because that's crucial. Like if you're doing a show and you're there for people, first of all, if you're an artist performing, I always feel like you need to be front and center when other artists are performing.
Yeah, because I feel like if nobody gonna support them, I feel like another artist should.
Yeah.
Just like how it is with paintings and stuff like that. They
Right.
go to those shows and they stay and they buy some of the paintings, stuff like that.
Right.
If you making music just like the other person, the same struggles.
Right.
And seeing people leave in the middle of a
That's
performance, that
discouraging.
yeah,
That takes
that
a
might
lot out
take
of
you
you.
out the whole moment. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like that's I think that's just proper etiquette. Stand up front, watch the artist perform, give them your attention the same way
Hmm.
that you would want it. And not only that, they're going to pay attention. They're going to remember that. So when
Yeah.
you perform, they're going to be more inclined to do so. It doesn't necessarily mean they'll do it, but they'll be more inclined to do so. And if they don't do it, shame on them.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean? Not only that, like he said, stay for the whole show. You know what I mean? If you have other obligations or something else going on, that happens. I get that. But for the most part, stay for the whole show. Show support for the other artists that are there. They took their time out. You know what I mean? Especially if you're an artist, stay for
Yeah.
the whole show. And your people are probably more inclined to leave with you if
Hmm.
they see you leave. And like you said, that takes a lot from the artist. It takes a lot out of their performance. You know what I mean? It takes a lot
Yeah.
out of the overall look. It's just not a good look. So definitely have some courtesy.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely have some etiquette about yourself, artists. And it means a lot. And promoters and stuff see that as well.
Yeah.
They know that that's going on. You know what I mean? Club owners, promoters, they see that going on as well, and they're going to be less likely to book you again if they
Yeah.
see that
Shout
taking
out
place.
shout out Rell at RTM.
Yeah, rock to them
We
more.
talk a lot about just some of the artists that perform there and just it if it's a bad vibe from the first time they get on stage, 9 times out of 10 they ain't gonna get on stage again. Cause his whole thing is about just the group aspect of it all. Like
Yeah,
we're all a family in there.
yeah. Shout out to Rock to more. We just had Shamar here
For real.
last week.
It's
Yeah,
my
for sure.
dog.
But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And so now, let's get into the new project. Tell me a little bit about this.
Uh
Colorblind, right?
yeah, the colorblind. Yep. Um Behind the name. Uh
What up, Ellie?
I feel like life is always I don't know, I feel like everybody's living life blind in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Um just like a blind man walking. You never know what's next until you get there, and then you can't sit and see what it is. Once you know what it is, you just gotta figure out what's after
You
that.
have to adapt.
Yeah, and you
Wow.
always have to move forward. So I feel like that's the the whole theme of my tape for this.
Wow, that's crazy. That's deep, bro.
Yeah, just
That's deep.
moving forward, the color blind. Like if I just feel like everybody's a blind man walking. To be honest,
Yeah.
you never know what the next thing is, and once you get to it, you always got to look for it.
Huh. Damn, that's deep, bro.
Yeah.
What inspired that? What inspired that concept?
Um, Honestly, most of my concepts are inspired by like the hurt that I feel in a sense.
Experience life.
Yeah. Um, and I don't know. I feel like my life is moving pretty fast nowadays. 1 minute I'm with this person, the next minute I'm cutting them off, or 1 minute I'm sitting in my room thinking, am I even gonna keep doing this rap stuff? Then the next minute I'm getting booked for a show.
Right.
It's like I always got to keep looking forward in a positive light too,
Yeah.
because you never want to walk through darkness thinking you
You
about to
got
be
it.
gone the next day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't know. I just feel like that was the theme of my tape for real. Like it was just I got to just keep pushing.
So you dropping tonight? You gonna let us hear some of that, or we gotta wait for it? We gotta wait for it tonight. Oh,
Which one?
he's consulting right
I'm
now.
consulting right now.
But
I got to see what I even got on my phone.
yeah, man, no, that's a lot of good stuff though. Walking blindly through life, like you can't,
Right here.
yeah, you can't do that. But you found something for us?
Yeah, I got y'all.
Go ahead, set it up for us. Tell us about it.
So Way of the Hero. I feel like I definitely gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I
Yeah,
ain't
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
lie.
yeah, for sure. We'll play the jam while you
Oh,
going.
all right, bet. Yeah.
Um,
So Way of the Hero is definitely like a
Straight up the steps where you came.
I bet. Uh I'll talk about it after.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's the top joint right
Yeah,
there.
yep, got you.
I chose my path, you chose the way of the hero. And they found you amusing for a while. The people of this city.
You see, I like them.
But the one thing they love more than a hero is to see a hero fail, fall, die. In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. And those teeming masses exist for the sole purpose of lifting the few exceptional people onto their shoulders. You mean? We're exceptional. I could squash you like a bug right now, but I'm offering you a choice. Join me. Imagine what we could accomplish together. What we could create.
They tell me Z, we know you got that heat, so what you waiting on? Probably on the day that they stop hating, I'll be waiting long. Told her lose that dress before I step, girl, I ain't staying long. I ain't never pressed, but for the sex, girl, I might play along. Silent killer, loaded up this tech, I'm trying to make it home. Violent nigga, camera to the left, I put my Jason on. Who rhyme with you? Know it ain't your set, cause all your hit is gone. All about a check, they paying meta just to say they own. Kamikaze bread eye. All I see is dead guys. R. Kelly chopper, best believe I'll make this lead fly. Told him why I tried. Suicide behind them fed ties. Black and white with red all over here in them headlines. We taking all the names. Head on a platter, face backwards, cause they all the same. Brains splattered on my wall, that's my Hall of Fame. Don't be a part when they all fall, charge it all to the gang. Listen, I didn't watch the overdose on confidence. Part of my problem is I put my problems in providence away from all the politics. The rapping, no acknowledgement. Standing on business, that's why you don't see me in beef, because I'm probably standing on top of it. When caught of my killers and they rolling out like I'm optimist. Before them dollars hit my pocket, still at dominance. Damn shit on my lap, I got another on my shopping list. See the way I'm sliding on this beat, I like to talk to it. Now they tell me Z, why the hell you ain't been dropping shit? Your Cadillac hot. Jump in that boat and story stocking it. Matter of fact, heat the city up, pull out the hottest shit. We see the way these other niggas rapping, they ain't topping it. Cause literally, I supply my mental in captivity. Physically, I defy the odds that can't get rid of me. Validity, I stamp my authenticity on imagery. While niggas in my city over 30 in they misery. Ran across the bases for my niggas unconditionally. Dodge a couple cases, we ain't have to show no sympathy. Smiled in some faces, really thought that they was kin to me. Just glad that I ain't have to be that nigga they pretend to be. So while this raw that they be spitting don't mean shit to me. For me it's ha just like it's Davis when they mimic me. No baby side die and she be geeking when she get with me. Genius spin the name, it ain't the same, I know they missing me. See, they gonna tell me calm down after this.
Yeah.
There ain't no letting up. See what it is we done playing the hero in y'all story, man. That shit over with. It's time to start stepping on next, man. Somebody let them know what it is. I appreciate that, Hunter. It's the takeover.
Damn. That's crazy.
Bro, this tape coming different, bro. I
That's
feel
crazy.
like my mindset was more about the hurt part, you know, the sad part. But this is
Being
the,
more vulnerable.
yeah, definitely. But this is the all right, but I can keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Like, you
You
know,
done dust your shoulders off on them one
yeah, a
time.
little bit of grit, a little bit of attitude with it.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah. But yeah, Way of the Hero.
Yeah, tell us about it.
I came up with it just on a sense of I'm always so forgiving. You know, I'm always there to give somebody some. I'm always playing a hero in somebody's story. But I feel like if it's not getting me anywhere, I'll be the villain.
Yeah.
I'll just, I'll be selfish.
You done took the cape off.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like especially with this, like I let a lot of things off my chest during this tape, just on the sense of like, now I'm all about me in a sense. Like now I'm focused on me.
Yeah, you can't feel bad about that. Like sometimes selfish is used as like a bad word.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's necessary to be
Mhm.
selfish. You know, what I mean, not saying that you have to be selfish all the time,
Yeah.
but there are moments when you have to be selfish because if you can't take care, if you can't, for sure, Veli, you feel me? if you can't take care of yourself, or if you're not in the right space, what can you do for anyone else?
Exactly. Exactly.
And in those moments, it's good to be selfish. Like, damn, I'm not right. Like, I'm broken.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got to repair myself before I could think about doing anything for anyone else.
Because sometimes, that selflessness kind of, it may hurt you if
Hmm.
you give it to the wrong person. If you allow too many people in your house,
Yeah,
you ain't never gonna get them out. In a
yeah,
sense, yeah.
true, true. No, that's what's up, man. And you speak with a lot of maturity. You speak with a lot of wisdom. The genes is certainly warranted.
I tried to, man.
Um, and I love that. And I like the feel of the new tape, man.
Yeah,
It's dropping tonight.
yeah. Dropping at 12. Yep.
Dope, dope for sure. I'm definitely going to get a download from me, bro.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
So what you working on? What we looking for in the future? So we got the tape coming tonight. We
Yep.
got any shows upcoming you want to tell the people about?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. So ironically, I got a show tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, I set it up so it could be, right with my tape so that when I drop it,
Almost like an album release party.
almost like album release. Yeah. I
Yeah.
got to select a few artists. We got a dope lineup.
Oh, dope.
It's at Rock Till Morning. Doors open at 9.
Really said that on Apple Music.
We'll be at 12 for sure.
Yeah, download
Rell
that.
Z the genius. But yeah, we got a dope lineup.
Who
And
else you got rocking with you?
I got my boy Vooch. Got my boy ATM, Fat Knot, uh, Bird. And she's dope. Like I never even met Bird in person, but when they asked me who should perform, she was one of the first names that popped in my head. Like she's dope.
That's fire. That's
Yeah,
fire. So you got to put the show together for real.
yeah,
So it is
yeah.
pretty much a album release party
For real,
more
yeah.
or less.
I
That's what's
should
up.
be able to perform the whole tape too.
That's what I was going to ask you. Are you just performing all new material? Or are you going to play some of the old stuff as well?
I think I'm gonna keep it new. I think I'm gonna like really shock them.
Okay,
Yeah.
for sure. Tell people where that's happening at. Give them a look.
Rock Till Morning. It's over there on. Ooh, let me get the actual.
That way, when they see the podcast tonight,
Yep.
they can know. Or in the morning, y'all ain't got to catch it live, but
Yep.
certainly we're going to share that and all that good stuff, and they can see it, and they can catch up with you tomorrow night, meet you in person.
Yep. For sure. Rock Till Morning Social Club and Lounge. It is at 271 Baldwin Road. 15207. That's a zip. Now Baldwin be throwing people off. They be thinking they gotta go out the
Definitely
way, but yeah, out in Homestead.
It's not too far, right in between Homestead and Southside. I tell
Yep.
people all the time for sure. Yeah, bro. That's hard. So you got to put that show together. You're doing that. You got any other performances coming up? What you know about?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been working.
Absolutely.
We actually got some put together.
Plug all that good stuff, bro. Plug all
Yeah.
that good stuff.
Let me turn this down. We actually got some put together. It's like a rhythm and poetry. It's a rap show, like RAP.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah, set it up with Samaray. She's dope too.
Yeah,
Another
very dope
artist.
vocalist. Very dope vocalist.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. My bad. Turn this down.
Battle anybody. I don't care who. No LL.
I don't got no service
Todd
in
Smith.
here.
My bro says she's nice. He's familiar with her.
Yeah, she's nice. It's actually on Friday. I need to. I don't got no service to even pull it up.
You said it's on Friday though.
It's next Friday. She gonna kill me if I don't do this. Okay, yep, I got it. All right, Rhythm and Poetry Night. It's at the Forge Urban Wine Bar. Doors open at 7. Music starts at 8. It's hosted by
I
Samaray.
know Shorty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Velly, I know Shorty.
I'm trying to look for the location. Oh well, yeah, it's at the Forge Open Wine Bar. I believe that's over there in Wilkinsburg.
Nice.
So
for sure. So you
definitely come out. We got a good lineup there. We got a whole bunch of poets, a lot of dope artists as well.
Who's all rocking?
Yeah, we got Hoodie Mike. I've been peeping some of his stuff. Lando Ash, he's dope. Ari No Casino. Me, of course. Then we got some dope poets too, like Cameron Warren. That's actually my camera guy.
Okay.
And that's my camera guy. He's a producer. He do it all. So if you want to tap in, ICAMW, That's my guy.
You working on some videos for the new project?
Uh, I don't got any for the new project yet, but I do got a video cooking, and it's something different for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. We'll let you surprise us with that
yeah.
one.
It's called No Destination, but it's deep. It got a little deep meaning. Like it's like you gonna see the video in your own way, and yeah, it's gonna be special for sure.
It seems like you really take the artistic approach when it comes to hip hop. Like
Yeah.
you're always thinking beyond just the words or just the moment. You're on a deeper level with it.
Hmm.
Is being an artist or being considered an artist important to you?
Yeah, I mean, because I hate when people say like rapper.
Yeah.
I hate being put into that category because when I think of a rapper, I'm thinking of somebody that's just rapping.
Hmm.
But an artist is somebody that's telling a story. They're painting a picture for you. And I just like the whole outlook of I can lay back, close my eyes, and visualize what this man's saying, or
It's
woman,
almost it turns into a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And when you could feel that, that's when I feel like that's the difference between an artist and a rapper.
100%,
Yeah,
100%. Hell yeah, man! I'm glad you came out to join me.
for sure.
That time went by fast as hell too, bro. Like, I definitely learned a lot about, I mean, who you are as an artist, and I got even more respect for you and love for what you do.
Appreciate it,
I
bro.
was already a fan. Now I'm even more tuned in, bro, for sure.
Appreciate it, bro.
You got anything else you want to plug before we get you out of here? You got some merch for them or something like that? How can
Uh,
they? Oh yeah, are you doing features? You got features and all that stuff. How can they get a hold of you for any of that stuff?
oh yeah. You can get a hold of me at you can either hit me in the DM or you could hit my Gmail, Rell Z the Genius at gmail.com. It's pretty simple. I'm always down to do features. Just hit me up. We can, you can pull up. I got my own stew. I guess it's a stew, but yeah. So
Making
we could
music out
tap
there, it's
in.
definitely a stew for
Yeah,
sure, for
yeah.
sure. Yeah,
We could tap in for sure.
yeah, man. Make sure y'all do that. Take advantage of them now while you can, because it ain't always going to be the same.
Man, I hope not.
For sure. But I'm glad y'all came to join us once again. World's dopest podcast, Marley State of Mind, here at a Bunch of Bull Studios. We have Rell Z the Genius here for you.
Yes, sir.
Make sure y'all tap in with us. Do all that YouTube stuff. What is it? Like, share, comment, blah, blah, blah. Um, Tune in.
Appreciate y'all.
One.